Jonathan Kuminga is a 6'7", 210-pound combo forward prospect. In my opinion, he is one of the more high upside players in the draft and is also the best forward prospect in this draft as well. However, he isn't perfect and he does have flaws. And today I'll be talking about the strengths, the weaknesses, and overall game of Jonathan Kuminga and what I believe he can be in the NBA one day. But before we do get into today's video, I've noticed that about 76% of you guys that watch my videos happen to not be subscribed. So you happen to fall into that 76%, or you just happen to be new and like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, hit notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos to take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos covering the NBA draft like this video and covering high school basketball players as well. So if any of those things interest you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Make sure you follow my Twitter and my TikTok for more basketball content, more basketball talk, or if you want to see what I'm like outside of basketball if that interests you. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Jonathan Kuminga is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He moved to the United States in 2016. He played for Huntington Prep, Our Savior New America, and the Patrick School. He would reclassify from the 2021 recruiting class to the 2020 recruiting class. He was ranked 4th by 24/7 Sports and ESPN, while rivals ranked him 3rd. He would choose to play for the G League Ignite. During his time with the G League Ignite, Kuminga would average 15.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, and 2.7 assists per game on a 49.3 true shooting percentage. When it comes to the strengths of Jonathan Kuminga, the first thing that stands out is his frame and athleticism. The guy is built like an NBA wing already at 6'7", 210 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan, and I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't done growing either. I think his frame will max out at around 6'8" or 6'9", and 225 to 230 pounds, and he's a really good athlete. He's not an elite athlete. I wouldn't put him in that Jalen Green, Greg Brown, Keon Johnson tier, but I do think he's more than above average in this regard. He's a very powerful slasher that I think has a chance to become an unstoppable force in this regard if he adds some more muscle to his frame. Because of his athleticism and that really good frame, he does have great defensive potential, but the key word is potential. He still has a lot of work to do. However, if he does put it all together on that end of the floor, he could be elite, but again, it is something that will take a lot of work. He showed potential as a scorer from the low post in the G League as well as some flashes as a cutter off ball. He showed some passing flashes. He can do basic stuff at least, and I do think he has room to grow in this regard, but we'll see. That's something that only time will tell with his progression, and I think his age is a factor as well, and something that goes in his favor. He's a year younger than guys like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, Evan Mobley, and Sharif Cooper. He should still be in high school right now, and the fact that he's been this good while also making a tough adjustment to living in the United States at a young age is a good indicator of his work ethic. However, like every prospect, Jonathan Kuminga does have his weaknesses. One thing that I've always noticed is that Jonathan Kuminga just doesn't have a good feel for the game right now. Again, that could be because of his lack of experience against competition on his level, as he hasn't been playing, high-level basketball really that long. Like, he started in 2016. But it is something to know, he's never really been consistent throughout his entire career, whether it be EYBL, high school, or the G League, and that is something that is a bit noteworthy for me. He doesn't have good shot selection at all. At times, he doesn't use his physical tools to his advantage and will settle for jumpers. It's very similar to what Anthony Edwards struggled with at Georgia, where they have the physical tools to just punish defenders and just use their physicality to their advantage, but they just don't do it all the time. So that is something to note. He needs to make better decisions with the basketball as well. He can turn over a bit too much, and That is a problem, but it is something I do believe is fixable. His outside shooting numbers aren't good either, and that's with the context of him taking a lot of jumpers. I think his confidence is encouraging, like the fact that he's not afraid to take jump shots, even though it doesn't always go in, and that's a very encouraging sign for a young player. But, you know, there are concerns. His shot looks flat, the mechanics are inconsistent at best. His defense is inconsistent at best as well. His awareness isn't good, the effort isn't good. This is him doing all this despite having great physical tools, so that's something he'll need to work on. And the fact he hasn't improved on things I thought he would improve on while being in a great place to develop does concern me. You know, overall, you know, you can say he's young, he's this, he's that, and I understand that, and I do believe that is a good factor for him, but it is concerning that he really didn't improve despite playing in the G League. So again, that is something that has concerned me a bit with him as well. Overall, I like Jonathan Kuminga. He's one of my favorite prospects in this draft. He was from the start, and he still is. He's gone from like my easy number 3 guy in this draft, and he's fallen outside of the top 5. But like I mentioned in my big board video, 3 through 6 in this draft are all guys that I believe have top 3 potential, and all can go top 3. So even though he's ranked number 6 on my board, because compared to some of the other guys, his game just isn't as polished, and the other guys, like, I think they have higher floors than he does. You know, I still think that he very well could go top 3, and it wouldn't bother me at all. He has an NBA ready frame, great athleticism, and shows a lot of potential. But again, the key word is potential, as he does have a lot of work to do. He needs to improve his shot mechanics and his shot selection. I'm not as worried about the shot selection, as that's something that improves with young players over time a lot. You know, things like tunnel vision, things like that, as they go from being guys that have the basketball in their hands all the time to having to work in a college system or an NBA system. I think that's something that it goes away more than people think. And for young players like Kuminga, like, they're going to struggle with shot selection, especially for him, just trying to get a feel for the game. So it doesn't concern me as much, but the mechanics definitely need to improve. That's something that I think whatever team drafts him, they're going to have to work on his lower body mechanics. Upper body mechanics seem fine on his jumper, but that lower body mechanics, they need to work on that. You know, there is a lot of inconsistency there. And his feel for the game overall will need to improve. I think that's something that will improve with more experience as he gets acclimated into NBA basketball. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It was an odd season. It wasn't an ideal season to develop. He only got to play in 13 games and missed some time with injuries. And he did struggle in the G League. That's very evident. But I also think that he showed enough signs in the G League that he can at least be a solid contributor off the bench for an NBA team, because again, he was still putting up like 16 points a game, almost like 7-8 rebounds per game against NBA level athletes, even if the efficiency wasn't great. And I do think some of that efficiency had a lot to do with him settling for jumpers and not attacking the paint as much as he probably should have. But I also do think that, you know, inconsistencies in general, and that includes him being a slasher, and the inconsistencies there, that did play a factor in his efficiency as well. So I think it was a 50-50 split between him taking too many jumpers and this inconsistency overall. I think he's somebody that has all the talent in the world. If the draft was based solely off upside, he would still be like number 3 for me. And, you know, it is going to sound controversial, but I think that there's a chance that if everything goes right for him, he has a chance to be the best player to come out of this draft. And that's just how I feel. And the thing is, I just don't bet against guys like Kuminga, guys who move to the States at a young age and not only are able to make a very tough adjustment to living in the United States from another country, adjusting to the lifestyle, adjusting to the culture, learning a new language, as he did have to learn English, but also the fact that he was able to improve as a basketball player and be as good as he has been. You know, it hasn't always been perfect. I know that. He has shown a lot of inconsistencies. You know, he really hasn't been able to string like a few good games together, often if at all, at any level. EYBL, high school, G League, like that's all true. But he shows enough flashes of dominance, like against, you know, Greg Brown and Cade Cunningham on the EYBL circuit, where he was the best player on the floor that day. I think, you know, despite that probably being his one big game, you know, he shows enough flashes overall for me to believe in him, and given, you know, the indicators I see based off his life story up to this point, and, you know, the talent that he's shown, like, it's enough for me to believe in him. And that's why I still believe in him as a top 5, top 6 guy. And I know some people have dropped him on their board. I have peers that have dropped him significantly on the board, but I still believe in him. And, you know, it's just a good feeling for me. If Jonathan Kuminga ends up going to a team that doesn't have a great development staff, you know, I do think that he'll end up being like a rotation player, fringe starter type. Because I do think in the G League, he did show enough to prove that he can last in the rotation. If he ends up on a team with a great development staff that knows how to develop him and will bring him along properly, he has a chance to be something special. But that is the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, be a big help to me. Let me know what you think about Jonathan Kuminga down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. How good do you think he is? Where do you have him ranked? I would love to hear all of that stuff. If you have time, make sure you go check out another video of mine. I have over 300 videos on this channel, so I'm sure you'll find something that you would like. But with that being said, have a nice day.